there's a show on Disney Plus that, quite frankly, I had never heard of. It's called The Owl House. I'm just admit, I'd never even heard of it before the story. But apparently, it was like 3 seasons long. So it'd been around for a while. Well, now the creator of the Dollhouse, which is on Disney Plus, or the Owl House, I should say, which is on Disney Plus, is telling people unsubscribe from Disney Plus and F them over the notion that Disney Plus is saying they're going to start experimenting with letting viewers of Disney Plus, submit user-generated content that other users can see using AI tools. Now, this comes to us from Deadline. At length here, because I want to make sure we get the story here properly. But the headline in Deadline is the Owl House creator Dana Terrace urges fans to unsubscribe from Disney Plus over AI user-generated content. He writes, "I don't care." And I guess this is an image from the Owl House, which again, I had never even heard of. But anyway, writes this. As Disney Plus flirts with a new feature that would allow subscribers to create their own AI-generated content within the app itself, which is interesting, one of the streamer's real creators is drawing a line. Drawing? Anyway, the Owl House creator, Dana Terrace, urged fans of the animated series to unsubscribe from the streaming platform and pirate her show after Bob Iger revealed plans to create a much more engaged experience with the new development during Thursday's quarterly earnings call. "If you pay us, we'll let you make your own content slop. Then, or that we will own," Terrace said, summed up in a feature as she shared the news on X. "You can draw and write and post your own shit for free. Bob Iger and his ilk are fucking ghouls. Tell us how you really feel." The story goes on. It says this, as I get down the part. With Gen AI enthusiasts coming out in support of the program and its accessibility for those outside the industry, Terrace rebutted, "A regular person can already create movies. Regular people create movies and art every day. Every director, showrunner, artist, filmmaker I know is a regular person with limited resources, picking up pens, pencils, and styluses to create movies and fan art every damn day." All right. Whenever AI comes up, I feel a little torn because I kind of see things from both sides, and I don't really know how I feel about this. So let's go with this. I don't know that I inherently see the problem with a service like Disney Plus allowing users to create perfectly and clearly defined this is user created content, and allowing others to view it, to play in the sandbox of Disney's other properties and using AI tools to generate them. Disney is not creating the AI tools. The AI tools are there, guys. I mean, like, we can moan and cry and lament all we want about the fact they're here, but they're here. This is now nothing new. These tools are here. They exist. People can make this stuff. It's happening whether we want it to or like it or not. It's just a fact of reality that we have to deal with. So it's there. And Disney Plus, which I'm going to be going to Disneyland here in a few days, and fuck that place. But regardless of how I feel about Disney,
it's Disney World, John. You're going to Disney World.
Whatever. Disney's Disney. Screw that mouse.
Oh, you motherfucker.
Anyway, trying to steal everybody's money. But that being said, is it all that out of line for Bob Iger to say, "Hey, I mean, these things are all here, so we're going to create this experience where our users can invoke their own creativity and use these tools and create content, user-submitted content that other users on our site can see, completely understanding what's user content and what is not." Because, Rob, not everybody remembers, but I remember at the advent of 3D animation, when tools like Maya and others were coming to fruition and, Pixar was coming out, I remember the loud anger of traditional animators saying this is all now nonsense. None of this is real creativity. Well, today we don't even think about that. It's just a tool that artists use that at one time people decried and were upset about. Even the advent of YouTube, people say, now anybody can just put a video online. Well, it was kind of being portrayed as a negative thing at the time, but it turns out democratizing that sort of thing is good for everybody. I mean, you get a lot of crap, a lot of awful crap. 99% of stuff on YouTube is crap, my show included. But that's not the point, so I don't really kind of understand her like visceral, vehement outrage that Disney is simply creating a sandbox, utilizing tools that already exist, allowing fans who can already do this stuff if they want, a place to, create some things and let other users see it. Do I think it's a great idea for them to do it? I don't know that I think it's a great idea. But do I think it's like some morally apprehensible thing that they're doing it? Again, if this stuff didn't already all exist out there and this wasn't stuff people were already doing, I might feel a little bit differently about it. Guys, we want to take a second and thank the sponsor of today's video, BetterHelp. Guys, as the days start to get shorter and it starts getting dark before you've even had dinner, this time of year can feel a little heavier than usual. And something I've been trying to do lately is to reach out to people I haven't connected with in a while. Just last week, I messaged a buddy of mine that I haven't talked to in a while, and we just grabbed lunch. And afterwards, I found myself thinking, why didn't I do this sooner? This time of year isn't easy for everyone, and staying connected really does matter. We're better when we have community, when we have support, and when we make the effort to check in with the people we know and love, and check in with ourselves. And for a lot of people, reaching out for therapy is the same way. It can feel like a big first step, but once they do, they often say, why didn't I do this sooner? And BetterHelp can be that first step. BetterHelp's therapists follow a strict code of conduct and are fully licensed in the US. They'll also do the matching work for you. After a short questionnaire, they'll help connect you with someone who fits your needs, drawing on more than 12 years of experience. And if the match isn't quite right, you can switch therapists anytime. So this month, don't wait to reach out. Whether you're checking in on a friend or reaching out to a therapist yourself, BetterHelp makes it easier to take that first step. Our listeners get 10% off their first month at betterhelp.com/Campea. That's betterhelp.com/Campea. Anyway, Rob, so I'm clearly a little bit torn on this. You read this story. What are you taking away from it?
Well, who is this person? Sorry. Now, I was sitting on that joke for a while there.
Man,
but I'm sorry. I'm here all week.
We almost forgot they were the
I'm here all week. I had to bring it back. Look, here's the thing. People you can bitch and moan all you want about AI. You can talk about this, that, and the other thing. Here's a person whose show ran 3 seasons on Disney. Now they're out of a job, and they're realizing the writing is on the wall. It is going to be very difficult, especially in 5 years, when people are going to be making their own feature films on their iPads and sharing them. They're going to be inserting themselves into all the great works. I can't wait to put myself into Casablanca so I, too, can have unrequited love with Ingrid Bergman. I'm really looking forward to that. Robert Meyer Burnett stars in Casablanca. It's going to happen.
Okay. We're talking about my favorite movie of all time, and you're kind of starting to ruin it.
Sorry, dude. But we're going to live in this reality.
Starting to ruin it.
But here's the thing. I would say here is an upside. So Disney is going to provide what they said are their tools. And if they're going to allow their characters and you're going to have AI generated parameters that are going to make it easy if you want to make your own animated Mickey Mouse short. Imagine what that could do to, say, somebody who's 5 or 6 years old, and they're able to think up things like, I want Mickey Mouse to go to the top of Mount Everest and ski down the side of it, and go to après-ski with Minnie. And they get to do that. And what that is going to do is that initial premise came out of the imagination of a 5 or 6 year old, and he has, or she has, or they have the tools to make that a reality. That to me is hopefully, yeah, is it a shortcut? Yeah. Is that kid maybe never going to learn to draw? Perhaps. But at that moment, their imagination is going to give birth to something that didn't exist previously. And that's what people need.
Yeah.
They need that spark of imagination. And where that's going to lead them, no man can say.
I mean, some people in the chat are saying, yeah, but you don't own it. It's like, okay, even if you were doing this for Disney Plus, you wouldn't own it. Disney owns it. Even if it was your art that you hand drew or you use CGI, you don't own it. They still own it.
if you're going to make something using their tools, utilizing characters and IP that they own, then of course whatever you create they're going to own.
Yeah.
And by the way, it's not like it's a sneaky hidden thing. Like they're letting you, hey, if you want to participate in this, cool, but just if you do, like we own it. It's still our characters. So they're creating a well-defined sandbox in it. By the way, let me read this one other thing. Let me read this other thing here. What's that?
I was going to say, it's just like a sandbox. That was a perfect analogy there.
Yeah. So Iger previously announced on this week's earnings call that the game-like feature could roll out on Disney Plus soon, lining up with the company's current mission to use AI to create a much more engaged experience, including the ability for them to create user-generated content and to consume user-generated content. Again, I'm not quite sure to what extent this is going to be. Like, I don't know if it's going to allow you to make a 10-second thing. I don't know if it's going to allow you to make a 2-hour feature length thing. I don't know how in depth the tools will go, but I think if it's a controlled sandbox, to use that phrase again, where and these tools exist out there anyway, and it's controlled, and they vet and moderate what content gets then put on the service. So you don't get any, crude or R-rated stuff going through, or people just being jackasses. Then again, I'm struggling because I got a lot of negative thoughts about Disney Plus. I like Disney Plus, don't get me wrong, but there's a number of things they do that irritate me. But I got to admit, Rob, in this case, I'm struggling a bit to see what the point of angst is. Unless I'm completely misunderstanding what Bob Iger and Disney Plus is doing with this, I'm struggling a little bit to see what the problem is here. Well, let me ask you to put on the shoes of this particular creator. How do you view this as being morally apprehensible? Like what's the big irk here?
Well, look, I think what everybody's worried about is, are they going to get free work out of people? And then it's going to come down to the people that have gotten paid to do great work are not going to get paid anymore. I mean, John, imagine if somebody were to use AI and make a movie about Luke Skywalker meeting Anakin Skywalker in the world between worlds. Can you imagine if somebody did that? I can, because it happens every single day now on YouTube, on social media, on Instagram. Everybody's already using AI to user generate all kinds of Star Wars movies and Star Trek movies and Harry Potter and James Bond, whatever. It's already happening. We see it every day. Now, somebody is mad that the actual owners of this property are giving users tools to create materials, which they're already doing en masse in the real world. And they're going to have the ability to take the best ones and showcase the work of viewers. Right. That is engagement. That is something that you can't, the amount of people that will come and be engaged by this is yes, it ain't show friends, it's show business. And this is a great way to get people engaged with their product in a way that wasn't possible before.
It's kind of gamification.
Yeah, I mean, that's what it is, and already, how many times do you create your own avatar in game? Mm-hmm. Nobody sits there and how many times are you able to share things, whether you're playing Roblox or something, or whether you're playing any kind of game where you can share stuff with your friends, or, I mean, we're in this world now. It already exists. And I can understand creators especially whose show has been canceled after 3 seasons, find this abhorrent because they're thinking, what are we going to do? Am I going to get paid for my talent anymore? Well, the real question is, a lot of people aren't. And that's how we're going to have to figure out, how is this future shock going to affect people? We don't know yet, but the fact is it's here. It's not going anywhere, and it's going to consume us all until.
And by the way,
oh, go ahead.
I don't disagree in the sense that, when she said she's sounding off alarm bells. Look, I'm not saying, and I don't think you are either, Rob, that AI presents some very real dangers to the world of film and TV. But At the same time, it's like a butter knife. Yeah, a butter knife could be used to stab and kill somebody. Yes, but it also spreads butter on my toast. It also spreads delicious mayo on my burgers. And yes, everybody should put mayo on their burgers. It can also be used to, oh, damn, I got to unscrew this, but I can't find a screwdriver. Great, butter knife. Like, it can be, there are ways it can be used well. You know what Rob also reminds me of? I worked for a web development company back when anybody can now make website tools start to come out. Because it used to be, if you wanted to make a website, you had to know HTML, maybe a little CSS, you had to know a little bit of Java, you had to know some programming. But all of a sudden, some tools started to come out. Tools like NetObjects Fusion, bonus points if anybody remembers that one. Things like Dreamweaver, tools like that started to come out. Where now, like, anybody, like, you don't even have to know code. Anybody can just make some. And I remember how upset a lot of people in the web community were that now just anybody can make just garbage. Now the internet's just going to be filled with garbage. And they weren't wrong. But I mean, anybody can make the tool. But today, we don't even think about it. The biggest web development companies all use tools like this now. So every time I feel like there's an advancement in technology that gives us new abilities, I feel like it rubs some people the wrong way, maybe understandably, but I don't know. We'll just have to see where this whole thing
John,
goes.
it's gonna also allow things like people are going to be able to instantly create their own characters. Like if I was sitting here with Jonathan going, yeah, I came up with this character, I don't know, Zin Zin, the Eskimo barber who sings show tunes. And, he cuts all the Inuit hair in I don't know, the Arctic Circle. If I wanted to create that character and I just came up with it, I could use AI tools and generate that character. Somebody could already have generated that character after hearing the sentence I just said. It's a prompt. And then you have a picture and you have free associated a new character that might be the star of the next Disney Plus show. And that could have been a person that never would have ever picked up a pen and paper or ever drawn anything or ever written anything. But they suddenly magically created, using tools, a new piece of IP or a new character that never existed before just now. That's kind of exciting.
So again, it can be used in a lot of nightmarish ways and could do a lot of harm, but maybe it could be a good thing. Whatever it is, it's here, whether we like it or not. Question is for you guys. What do you think about this story? One of the creators and showrunners of a Disney Plus show is now coming out and telling people unsubscribe from Disney Plus, calling them ghouls because they're going to allow these user-generated things. There are dangers about AI that I think, but I don't know if this particular use case scenario is one of the things to worry about. Maybe it is. Do you guys have an argument for it? Whatever you guys think about it, jump down to the comment section below and let us know your thoughts. Hey guys, thanks so much for watching this video. Make sure you like the video, leave a comment, and subscribe to our channel. And don't forget, we have a daily podcast called the John Campea Show podcast, available on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, or your favorite podcasting app of choice. Go and subscribe to it today so it'll be there when you need it.